Well, hello there everyone, your eyes don't deceive you. It's Ace Attorney and we're actually opening up an episode, not on a cliffhanger, but a denouement. The trial of Lana Skye is far from over, but we managed to wrangle our way through Angel Star's testimony and poke enough holes in her bizarre angles to at least stave off the guilty verdict on Ms. Skye. We had a clutch moment last time of calling out something's wrong with the tailpipe of Edgeworth's car. So, who knows? It seems like it has something to do with the case, seeing as Ms. Skye was talking about it, apparently, referring to the muffler. So, yeah. It's worth checking into, even I feel like. Hopefully it adds to the case rather than just buying us a day's rest before things get stickier. It's interesting, one thing, look, give me a moment before I jump in the actual game. It's interesting sometimes when this game, like, someone in these, like, faulty testimonies, they bring up something that sounds super bogus, but it is true in a way after all, rather than being a blatant lie. The first time was the very first case when... what was that guy's name? It was like something like he did it or something was that guy's name. The guy who was the actual murderer in the very first case. Like, he talks about at one point like, oh yeah, I heard the time from the television. And then you're like, well, that's bogus because the television had no power at that time. But it's not bogus that he heard the time, because then the Thinker clock ended up being part of the plot, and it's kind of weird, because I just thought that was just something, you know, he made up that he heard the time, you know? The same thing happened here with the whole muffler thing. My first inclination was that Ms. Starr was completely just making stuff up with that whole muffler thing, just to cover for her gaffe in talking about the blood spraying. But then it turns out that, you know, Lana was actually talking about a muffler. It wasn't the context that Ms. Skye was referring to. She was still full of crap, but it wasn't a bold-faced lie. Like, the word muffler was actually bandied about. Like, that part of the testimony was true. Not a huge thing, but I just think it's a weird angle in this game. Like, not weird, but curious. You know, interesting. Funny how these things come up. So, well, anyway, yeah, let's carry on with the case, shall we?
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
Phew, that was close. But, we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry? Oh man, I love the implication that the judge has just been eating all those lunch boxes that Miss Starr has been yanking out. Like, apparently they've been all going into the judge's gullet. That's a really cute idea. It's too bad that didn't get, like, its own animation in this game, you know. Get a little bit of extra for that. Oh well. Still a cute idea. To be continued. We're probably gonna get a save point here, which isn't super important since, you know, I have a save like 10 screens earlier, but whatever. Let's put the save here anyway. Da-da. And let's see. Where does the case go next? Uh-oh. Chin up, Emma. This is, you know, this whole thing is stinking to high hell, so I think there's a chance, I'd say, that we're gonna succeed on this.
Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
Pretty much. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So, what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Huh. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth.
So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth.
Uh-oh, someone says, hola, partner. I'm gonna guess it's the marshal, you know. Partner kind of gives it away. Hola, partner. Let's go. This guy's so good.
They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. Well, that's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least.
Officer Marshall!
Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home range locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory.
Is it like a friendly fort in enemy territory? Although I suppose if it was an enemy fort in enemy territory, they'd probably still lock it down tight just in case, you know, surprise attacks and anything, you know. Yeah, so did you really need to specify enemy territory in the end? I don't know. We'll let it slide.
That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge.
Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre?
You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all?
Huh?
I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler.
At what time was this?
What?
At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon.
Huh, award ceremony. Now, hold on real quick now. So yeah, it was the day of the ceremony, but if I remember this correctly, wasn't Edgeworth coming back from the ceremony when this happened, this murder? Like, he came back from the ceremony, left his car, the murder happened. So if I remember that part correctly, yeah, then yeah, probably because I think they would have canceled the ceremony if the murder had happened before. Seems like a reasonable thing. And also, you know, they certainly wouldn't have let Ms. Sky be at the ceremony after the murder happened. Yeah, that makes... So, yeah. It had to be before. So earlier that day, Lana was wearing the scarf. Or muffler, if you prefer.
What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
Hope it's not quick-dry concrete. That would suck.
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Woo-wee!
Man, swimming in steak sauce. What a dream. Sounds delicious. That'd be a crazy amount of steak sauce, though, so it'd be a horrible waste. Don't think I can really support that idea.
I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Aha. Something's gone bad for the prosecution, which is good for us. That's really funny, though. That he's just seething over there. That's so good.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent.
It can't be! This can't happen!
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, what is going on? What is up with Edgeworth over there?
Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial.
By the way, I didn't exactly realize we were only having a recess. This is a little... Shit, I forgot to read. I turned my eye for a second, I forgot to read what the judge was just saying. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought there would be a break. But he was talking about what happened during the break. I'm gonna guess that they went and checked out the tailpipe of the car. I'm gonna guess is what he said. Yeah, I was just saying, I wasn't ready for this just to be just a recess and us jumping into more court case. I thought this was the obvious end of day one of the trial, and now it'd be time to do some more snooping. So, yeah, color me surprised that we're back here already, and also a little worried, because I don't think I have much to go with, although let's see what's got Edgeworth's cummerbund in a knot here. Find out if it has something to do with the scarf, or piece of cloth, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I imagined that it was the scarf was stuffed into the pipe, was my guess. But maybe the cloth is something else. Let's carry on. Maybe we can crack this.
This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me, knock knock. Who?
Who's there? Whoa!
What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom.
Who is... what? Who are you?
Hey! The temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Yeah, but what scale of temperature? Celsius or Fahrenheit, it makes all the difference. Damn it, Emma! Or is it maybe Kelvins? That's of course a little physics trick for you. If we're only talking about temperature changes, it doesn't matter if it's Kelvin or Celsius, because those actually scale the same. It's a bigger problem if it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. Little physics tip there for you guys.
Who on earth is he?
Ah, it's you! Sorry I'm late, Aji. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, hey, Aji. How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy smizzy, Aji, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Aji? Seems to be his nickname for the judge.
Judgy Aji. Yeah, makes sense, I guess. Kind of.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. I'm sorry, but who are you?
Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Thanks?
So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly!
Little worthy?
I'm presuming it would be the guy to the right over there. Little worthy. Is this why Edgeworth is mad? Because I totally get it if that's the case.
Mr. Wright, You don't know the district chief of police?
Oh. Okay, then. Wow.
Chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district.
Huh. What an interesting guy, then.
Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone.
Damon Gant. What is the pun there? Damon Grand? I think I will need to look up my French, just in case mon grand means something. I don't know. I think I'm completely on the wrong track here. Damon Gant. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what that could be the pun there. Fascinating. Maybe it's a character with no pun in it, you know, in their name. Is that possible? I don't know.
So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler.
Well, I mean, she had to have removed it at some point. Since in the pictures he doesn't have it, so, you know, we don't know when she took it off. I don't know why we're assuming that she actually was wearing it when the crime happened.
But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe.
It was the scarf with the exhaust pipe. Okay, as soon as they talked about cloth, I kind of like, started to, yeah, suspect that might be the case. But that's weird. Why was it? I guess she was trying to hide it for some reason? Put a muffler in a muffler? I guess it's a muffly way to deal with a muffler.
On little Worthy's car, no less.
Weird, these long pauses here. I don't know what the deal with those are. Oh my god, I don't even know what that is in the picture, but holy shit, don't think I've forgotten about this right here. The 6-75-12-2. Don't think I'd forgotten, you know, back when we looked at this. I tilted my head upside down and everything like this, what I'm doing right now. It's 221 SL9. Oh god, I took a Steam screenshot of that. Apparently it's so important evidence that I accidentally hit the screenshot button there. Okay, that's fine. What was I thinking? Yeah, so, okay. Whatever this thing is super important. I have been paying attention. I'm not dumb. I'm good at crime solve. I will do this. But anyway, let's see.
It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. Well, what's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this.
A switchblade?
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair! On the day of the crime, I had... Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
So what's the switchblade then? Because we know that the knife was used in the murder. So what is the significance of this switchblade? I don't understand. It's not in our court record yet, is it? Neither of the items are in the court record yet. The scarf or the switch.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes? This is an odd moment. Usually we don't get asked much.
Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore.
Oh, truly the dilemma. Well, Emma, I guess you've got to take one for science, so here you go.
Come on, just hurry up and open it.
Oh, I'm not doing this. Game's doing it for me. Here. Guess we gotta do this. First, I want to look at this tag. Also, just do a quick rotation.
There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6. Of DL6 incident fame.
Oh, could this be a piece of evidence from a different crime?
But it's strange.
Huh? What is?
I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this, somehow.
Fascinating. So... Okay, so this might very well be a piece of evidence from a different crime, codenamed SL9. Now, the fact that there's a slip which says SL9 2/21. This is set in February, so 2/21 could also be a date in February, I suppose. But the 2 could also refer to this right here, so the note and this evidence are somehow connected, but I can't see quite yet how. We will have to pay more attention. But first, let's pop that sucker open.
Wow! Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood?
Switchblade knife found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. Oh, okay, so that's why this... I wasn't following the order of events. I was like kind of confused why this switchblade was brought up. But okay, so this knife was wrapped up in the muffler that was inside the muffler. Are you following me? Okay, in layman's terms, this knife was wrapped up in the scarf that was in the exhaust pipe. So which one was the murder weapon then? Well, it must have been the other knife because it had the victim's blood on it, right? But what about this then? This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife?
Sure thing. Not a problem, not even a little one. Really? So hold on. Okay, I kind of figured this guy would be the witness just because he's in the hot seat, you know, so he's perfectly set up to be the guy to question, but okay. He wasn't exactly a witness to the crime as far as I can tell, so what are we doing here? Very strange.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it.
Wait, a separate... Hold on. There was a separate murder... Yeah, I'm like the judge here. Like, there was a separate murder that happened exactly at the same time as the murder of Goodman? Huh?
There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, G. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order, order, order! Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Right, rather than this other murder. Okay, hopefully that doesn't mean that we're gonna get busted for pressing Mr. Gant too much. I hope we can do that. Also, I've totally noticed where we're gonna drop. He somehow even highlighted it, which makes me a little scared that it's that obvious, you know? But he even highlighted it by unless there's a contradiction. So I'm totally gonna drop that note on that point. But let's press him a little bit, why don't we? Let's also see if I get busted for pressing. If that's the case, I will very quickly stop doing that and drop the note instead. But let's see where this goes.
Excuse me? Special?
Uh-huh. Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else.
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that.
We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler.
Yeah, see, this is like, wow, they're calling it out so hard that I don't know what's gonna happen when I drop the note, but, you know, what else am I gonna do? I mean, of course, first just press him on everything, but, you know, then...
This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's, delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can, Righto.
What? Why? Isn't Phoenix gonna call out Emma on freaking calling him Righto? Oh boy.
Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time.
Wow, they're really calling this out. I think something terrible is gonna happen that I can't predict what when I drop the note, but, you know. Gotta go with the plot, you know. So, how were things down at the department?
That was a bad day for the department.
Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp. Hungry.
So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed?
Why weren't you informed? Well, Why didn't you ask? Huh? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all.